but we still have just a quick look ahead to this Saturday's UFC Fight Night in Singapore. Let's look at the main
Hmm.
event real quick. One thing I hate is I'm going to have to wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning to be able to watch this. And generally, you're going to have to wake up at 6 if you want to watch it.
Yep. I'm definitely going to try to push to make it, but if I don't, I'm just going to have to watch the highlights afterwards and try to give you guys my honest opinion next week.
Fair enough. Honestly, since I'm only a casual fan, Blake's not on here to talk about everyone on the card because he knows everyone somehow. Shout out to Blake, you fucking nerd. But let's just look at the main event because that seems to be the only thing that people care about. And that is 19-1
Hmm.
Ben Askren versus 27-9 Maia. Nice welterweight bout. You got a little grappler versus grappler. But
Hmm.
I don't know. I was looking at this. In my opinion, I think Maya definitely has the advantage with the stand up. Ben Askren,
Definitely.
I forget who was making fun of him, but the fighter was saying that Askren couldn't even hurt a fly from top mount. He
Yeah,
said he couldn't
from
even
from what
hurt
I
one.
heard, Askren's stand-up game is quite abysmal.
Apparently, it's fucking weak in terms
Yeah,
of being straightforward. They
definitely.
have the thing is that I see if Askren's gonna have to be able to take, he's gonna have to take this fight to the ground. But the thing is that Maya could win from his back. He's really good with his jiu-jitsu and stuff like that. So it's honestly not looking good for
But
Askren this week. This week.
but my thing also is you have to think after that big knockout, like that's not just a normal knockout that
No,
happened to him against
no, that was
Jorge
a
Masvidal.
unreal, once in a lifetime knockout.
Do you think that his chin might be compromised after that?
He never has really had that good of a chin, though. Is the thing.
Yeah, he hasn't, but exactly. So is
So
that
do you think his
does it
chin's fucked
give
up even
maybe?
more?
Yeah, and it's the fight wasn't like hella long ago,
No, I don't
in
think
my
it's
opinion.
chin. I don't think his chin's fucked up. I think it's more of his mental state.
More chin. By chin, I kind of just mean like the entirety of him being able to take a hit.
No, no, I
Usually,
know.
you just
No,
say
I know.
chin.
That's
Yeah,
fair. Thank you.
just
Explain to the
entirely
viewers.
like that.
Explain to the viewers.
Yeah, but I just think chin more as in when you start taking a lot of hits. Chin just kind of refers to you kind of get hit. The most power shots land towards your chin area,
Mm-hmm.
chin to neck area. So after taking a certain amount of shots, your chin kind of becomes weak. Like, for example, Chris Weidman. He's been fighting for
Yeah.
a long time, champion, great fighter, gets
Yep.
knocked out pretty fast by Reyes. You
See,
also have
yeah. The thing with
Rockhold
Askren, he might be in trouble if he loses this week. He might be out of the UFC if he
yeah,
loses.
because he went undefeated, going 0-2 at that age. He's not a young guy
What,
who's
he's
just
like
undefeated.
37?
He's getting up there in
36, something like
age,
that. So I was thinking about
and
Jake Hager. Jake Hager's 37.
yeah,
I just
yeah,
was just he was just in my mind from an article I saw earlier today.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking
But
forward
it's
to if we're
if
talking
you're
about Jake Hager, I'm looking forward to his next Bellator fight because he's actually fighting someone
definitely
who's not just a fat fucking fights on the side like half the people in Bellator do.
true.
He's actually going against a real opponent, so I guess we'll see.
We'll see. But my thing, definitely with Askren is he's an older fighter, and like a lot of time when you see a younger undefeated fighter lose for the first time, they have a lot of time to change and adjust their game.
No, it's been
When you're
like
kind of
what,
that up in
6 weeks?
age, huh?
It's been like what 6 weeks since he got knocked the fuck out.
Yeah, just like losing in general. When you're
Yeah,
undefeated and you lose, it takes a big hit to your ego and your mindset about if you still want to fight or if you can still do it. And as an undefeated fighter at a younger age, you can adjust your game plan, get better at stand up, or get better on the ground, or just grappling in general. But when you're Ben Askren's age and you've gone this long without learning stand up, it's a lot harder to just become a master of stand up when you're that old and you like he already came out and said it before. He said, "Why change up my game and become a great stand-up fighter when it's been my ground game has been working for me for so long?"
right. And
And he
honestly,
found
it's
that.
just to his point. There's not really too much sense in working on stand up because he's not going to be in the game for that much longer. So he might as well just keep going with
Yeah,
what he's good with. You know.
but my opinion, if he thinks he's as good as he is and he wants to win a belt, he's going to have to work stand up because there's no way,
Mm-hmm.
in my opinion, in the welterweight division, there's no way he's beating Tyron Woodley if he just does ground.
No way in
He's
hell.
going to get knocked out.
No way in
There's
hell.
no way he's beating Kamaru Usman if he just works ground. He's going to get beat up
against him.
What was that?
He get fucked up against Usman.
Yeah. So just in my opinion, the people he was fighting before either got tired or didn't have the best stand-up game. Like they had good stand-up game, but not good enough to keep Ben Askren
Also,
off.
it wasn't UFC competition. He was fighting one championship. That's not
Yeah.
UFC. No offense
in
to
my
those
opinion,
fighters,
not to
because
down
they're
talk.
still skilled fighters, of course, but
Yeah.
UFC is a different animal.
My thing is, I'm not trying to downplay Bellator or One or any other major promotion out there, but the thing is, UFC has been around pretty much the longest, and it has the largest group of talent from the top to bottom.
Yep.
When you go from the top to bottom at Bellator, then you start seeing the larger skill differences.
There's a drop off.
Like if you start putting like the number 15 a fighter against number 1 fighter in UFC, not all the time, but there's a better chance of that 15 fighter standing a chance or at least putting up a decent fight in UFC. But if you did that and the Bellator 1, that number 15 fighter is getting destroyed most of the time.
Totally agree. That's a very good point you made, Jalen.
But I think in a couple of years, it might be able to where Bellator 1 and UFC are all kind of at the same thing because it's kind of getting to the point where people are deciding not to go to UFC and they want to go to Bellator and they want to go to 1.
As a fan, we should hope for that, honestly.
We should, because when UFC doesn't have an event and another UFC thing is coming on, I don't want to just have to watch just 1 or 2 fights because that's all the good fighters they have. I want to be able to watch every single fight and enjoy a full thing like I enjoy UFC pay-per-view. Yep. So I'm hoping that it expands to where everyone has top-of-the-line fighters from top to bottom. But at the moment, that's not what it is. Bellator is kind of getting a lot of the not to be offensive, but scraps of what UFC either gave up already or I just didn't want. So I feel like just right now, yeah. So I just feel like as of right now, they can't fully compete when they don't have the young talent and built up groups of talent like UFC does.
Totally agree. But to wrap up UFC Fight Night Signapore predictions, I think Askren's going to take this, but barely. I think he's going to come really close to losing, but I think he might just squeak this one out. Jalen, what do you think?
I don't think he does. I think people have figured out if you're explosive against him, then you can beat him. But also, I think he doesn't. His stand-up game is terrible, and the fact that he's going to get somebody who definitely has a better stand-up game than him, and might just be just closest to him wrestling-wise than anybody he's fought in UFC.
Yep.
Well, in MMA, I feel like in the wrestling game himself, he's already shown that he can be beat.
Yep.
When he fought Burroughs, Burroughs absolutely destroyed him wrestling-wise.
That was bad.
Yeah, it
also,
was bad.
Burroughs is an amazing wrestler. He's an all-time great, honestly.
Yeah. But my thing is, especially since Askren himself, he was talking trash about, I think it was, who was it? It was Pettis had a wrestling bout against somebody. I forget exactly who. And they were kind of like playing around and stuff like that. And he came out and said, when you're doing stuff like that, taking it seriously, because when you're playing around, it's a joke. So then he went and fought Burroughs and got destroyed. So he can't come out and say he was playing around, because he already came out and said you don't play around, and you're doing those because it makes the sport seem like a joke.
Yep.
So he honestly got destroyed by Burroughs, and I think Maya, if not, is just as good as Askren in wrestling, is pretty close.
Yep.
And then he obviously has a better stand-up game. So I see Maya taking this because I don't see how Askren can just, unless he just is just that much better of a wrestler, I don't see any way he can just outwork Maya stand-up wise and entirely on the ground, because most of his fights go by points anyways.
Yep. So Cliff Notes, Maya wins by knockout or decision though. Yeah.
I think Maya chokes him out.
Ooh, submission. I like it. Can you give me a round?
I think Maya chokes him out close to the end of second round.